Hey, what is going on, Guardians? Gray here with another Destiny 2 video. This will be my final and third Traveler's Chosen build. Thank you guys for checking them all out. They've been a lot of fun to put together. This one's going to be my Hunter build using Traveler's Chosen. We're going to dive into it. Apologies if I sound a little stuffy. I'm having terrible allergies today. There's nothing I can do about it. I get seasonal allergies really bad, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little off today during the recording. But with that being said, we'll dive into the video and talk about the build I threw together for the Hunter. So if you guys have seen my other two builds I've done with the Traveler's Chosen, you'll know by now that it's an extremely powerful sidearm. It has a really cool perk on it. It has the Gathering Light perk where final blows with the weapon will give you stacks of Gathering Light. You can cash those stacks in to get some awesome ability regen. I'm sure you guys know how this functions by now. If not, feel free to go check out my other videos on this so you can get a really good understanding of how this works. It's very key to these builds I've been putting together. But for the Hunters, I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little off meta, and I've been seeing videos about Arc Strider. I haven't played Arc Strider in a long time. I've, of course, been playing Spectral Blades for a long time, and I wanted to dive back into this spec and mess around with it, and the Traveler's Chosen really made it work pretty good for me. And the build I threw together was a very, very aggressive build, and so it's going to be a little different than the other ones you've seen. This is a sidearm shotgun build. It's hyper aggressive, in your face, and we have a few things working for us that are good. It's going to make that possible. First and foremost, for the loadout, of course, we're using that Traveler's Chosen sidearm like I was talking about, but we're pairing it with the Fellwinter's Lie shotgun. Now, I've seen some talk lately, people saying that they can't get their hands on this shotgun right now, which is honestly very disappointing. I'm sure Bungie will find a way to bring it back into the fold, but you could use a Mindbender's Ambition, that 7th Seraph CQC shotgun. Those are both very strong options if you get the right rolls on them. So feel free to use those as well. You don't have to have Fellwinter's Lie to make this possible. But that sidearm shotgun combo is a little hard to get used to because you're not going to have anything to cover your far ranges. You need to play very aggressively. And in order to do that, we need to pair that with a certain exotic, and the one I chose because I haven't used it in a long time, and doing these nightfalls recently, I got this to drop for me. It's the Gemini Jester. I got a really good roll on these the other day, and I really love this exotic. It's a lot of fun to play with. It has the misdirection perk where dodging will disorient nearby enemies and temporarily remove their radar. It's very, very strong, and it has some hidden functionality I want to talk about a little bit. The way it actually works is that if a target is in range when you do your dodge, it actually pings them for 1 damage. It actually technically does 1 hit of damage, which is actually pretty crazy because it's going to give you a lot of assists inside of PvP. You can be dodging near a group of enemies, ping all of them for 1 damage, not even touch them, and if your teammates kill them, you're going to get a bunch of assists. It's kind of funny, but it's very, very powerful because it's your way of knowing if it worked. If you see an enemy, you know they're coming up on your radar around a corner, and you hit that dodge button, you see that 1 pop up on your screen, you know you hit them with that Gemini Jester effect, and it's safe to go ahead and push in with them. It's extremely powerful, and it really messes with people. There was a time where Gemini Jester was everywhere inside of the Crucible. I can remember that. And I don't see it nearly as much as I used to. And that's kind of why I wanted to try it out again. It's been very successful for me, especially inside of things like Iron Banner and 6v6. It's very strong, but it can be really strong in those elimination formats as well. If you're playing up close and personal, you're going to be close quarters with your enemy and pull off that dodge, get the Gemini Jester off and push them. They're going to be disoriented. You can slide in with the shotgun and clean them up. Hit them with the sidearm if they're a little further out, and you can just be a very, very aggressive, slidey boy, and it's a lot of fun. Now, the Traveler's Chosen comes into play with this in a couple different ways. It's not solely focused around that exotic perk, but it's there in the background with this build. Some of my other builds focus heavily on taking advantage of that Gathering Light perk. This one's just a nice benefit to have with the build. Looking at the subclass, we of course have that disorienting blow melee ability, and this says strike an enemy with this melee ability to disorient the target and nearby enemies. So we're sort of doubling up on that disorienting effect, and you can really mess some people up. If you dodge, get the Gemini Jester off, and their radar goes away, they're disoriented, you slide in, you hit them with a melee, now they're even more disoriented and they cannot figure out which way is up. You're just doubling down on disorienting your enemies, and it's really, really fun and pays off when you're very aggressive. We also have focused breathing, where sprinting recharges your dodge ability, it also increases your maximum sprint speed. We have that combat meditation perk where when you're critically wounded, your melee and grenades will recharge faster. That's a very underrated perk because oftentimes you will be critically wounded inside of PvP. You'll be in that red zone of your health and you're going to be getting a bunch of regen on all of your abilities. It's a very nice benefit to take advantage of. The final perk on this tree is, of course, lightning reflexes, where you are harder to kill while dodging. That's extremely powerful, especially when you're being aggressive like you are with this build. You're dodging in with Gemini Jester, getting that harder to kill debuff, and getting the shotgun blast off or the sidearm and just wiping people out. It's very, very powerful, and it all synergizes pretty good. We're using the arc bolt grenade because it's just, I was playing Iron Banner 6v6. It's a really good way to hit multiple targets. You can mess around with the other ones. I'm just the most comfortable with the arc bolt grenade. I am using the Gambler's Dodge to get my melee ability back on those dodges because I like to take advantage of disorienting blow as much as possible, and I prefer triple jump over the other jumps personally. I know a lot of people like the strafe jump. I'm just so used to the triple jump. You can make fun of me for it if you want. It's just my bread and butter. It's what I prefer. So it all kind of gels together nicely. You're going to have that disorienting dodge. You do need to learn to use it more offensively as opposed to using it to get out of a situation. You can kind of see if a guy's around a corner, use that dodge, and then push in. And of course, using that Traveler's Chosen, you can use it to get your grenades back, your melee back, and your dodge very quickly. Of course, you shouldn't have too much of a problem given the subclass gives us our dodge back very quickly already. Some of the perks on my armor I want to talk about. We have some seasonal mods we can really take advantage of. That enhanced scatter projectile targeting from the artifact actually affects sidearms. And it's very, very nice to use. It only costs 1 energy. You can throw it right on there. We also have, you want to use enhanced unflinching sidearm aim, or just, you don't have to have the enhanced ones, but just speccing into your primary weapon is very strong. On the class item, I am taking advantage of Powerful Friends to give me that extra boost to mobility. If you guys don't know, this perk is very, very strong, and it gives you plus 20 mobility when you slot another arc mod into your piece of gear. I'm using pump action here. It goes hand in hand with the build, so you get bonus super energy on those shotgun kills and the bonus mobility from Powerful Friends. I, of course, do the Charge with Light package on my gear as well, utilizing stacks on stacks, taking charge, and high energy fire to give myself a little bit of a damage buff now and again throughout my games. I know the gameplay in the background, it's just some B-roll. I had some really solid games, and I'm not doing anything too crazy, just showing off how I like to play with the build. Hopefully you guys can kind of see how I go about that. You're just very, very aggressive. And on certain maps, it's kind of a pain, those long range maps, but you just got to stay in those close quarters and play to your strengths with the build. It's a lot of fun, and I had a ton of fun messing around with this sidearm. I'm finally going to move on from it. I know you guys have probably seen enough of this sidearm, but I said I was going to do one for each class, and this one fit the bill for hunters, and I really enjoyed it. So again, like I said before, let me know what you guys are doing with this Traveler's Chosen sidearm or any other crazy builds you're messing around with. I know this week we have the double loot from the Nightfalls. Definitely go and take advantage of that. I know that's PvE versus PvP here, but you can get some really high rolls on your exotics. That's where I got this really solid Gemini Jester from, and that's what made me want to use this build even more. So thank you guys for checking out the video. I appreciate your time. If you enjoyed the video, your like below is very much appreciated, and hitting that subscribe button is a free way to support me here on the channel. We're moving up in the subs. I'm hoping to be at 2,000 subs before Beyond Light drops this November, and your support will help me get there. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the build. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.